Bienvenidos a ¿Qué pasa, Polk? Yo soy Anita Rivera. Comenzaremos hoy mediante la revisión de las acciones de la Comisión del Condado de la reunión de la última junta el 17 de mayo. La Oficina de Planificación y Desarrollo del Condado de Polk quiere mejorar su servicio al cliente. Y el martes, Blaine Carter, presidente del Servicio de Atención al Cliente y de la Eficacia de Planificación y Desarrollo, Grupo de Trabajo, examinó las recomendaciones del Grupo de Trabajo y la forma de mejorar las funciones dentro de la construcción, planificación y desarrollo de la tierra y subdivisiones. El Grupo de Trabajo se formó hace un año como una recomendación del Comité de Eficiencia en febrero del 2015. El Consejo aprobó la resolución número 15-0220 para establecer el grupo de trabajo de 10 miembros. El grupo estaba formado por 5 miembros del sector privado que fueron nombrados por la Junta y otros 5 miembros designados por el administrador del condado. En las recomendaciones aprobadas, las mediciones de rendimiento se utilizarán para medir el éxito. Los miembros del personal publicar un informe que describe cómo se realiza un seguimiento, calculan y publican de manera transparente las métricas de rendimiento. La tecnología será mejorado y actualizado. Los miembros del personal serán capacitados en buenas prácticas de servicio al cliente, que incluirá las métricas de rendimiento. Se implementará también políticas de uso simple y predictible de la tierra junto con la revisión oportuna de los planes presentados. En otras noticias, la Junta también aceptó las conclusiones de la Auditoría Financiera Anual Integral para el año fiscal de 2015, que encontró ninguna falla material o deficiencia significativa. Mike Carter y Lance Schmidt de Clifton Larson Allen LLP, empresa externa contratada contabilidad del condado, presentaron sus conclusiones a los comisionados durante la reunión del martes. Durante la auditoría, Mike Carter dijo que no hubo dificultades, las representaciones erróneas no corregidas y no hay desacuerdos con la administración. La situación también financiera de la provincia es fuerte, dijo Stacy Butterfield, secretaria y contralora del condado de Polk. También elogió a la Junta en su responsabilidad fiscal. Polk también aceptaron el agua potable, aguas residuales y sistema de agua regenerada de la nueva subdivisión Glenwood Terrace en el norte de Lakeland a ser controladas por Polk Servicios Públicos de nuestro condado. Comisionados del condado votó para devolver una pieza de propiedad en Polk City a Dwight Fussell a condición de que pague los impuestos en mora en la propiedad. El señor Fussell no había estado viviendo en la propiedad y no estaba al tanto de los impuestos sobre la propiedad adeudada. También se comprometió a limpiar cierta propiedad. Las noticias de la comisión del martes continuó con una serie de proclamas en las comunidades históricas, problemas sociales críticos y comisarios de una recreación sana que incluyen la placa proclamando de mayo de 27 al 29 al 27 de 2016, fin de semana, comunidad Polksville-Russell Burney, en representación de la Asociación Histórico Polksville, aceptó esa proclamación. La comisión también proclamó mayo 2016 como el mes de prevención de embarazo de las adolescentes. Marquinia Butts Fisher y otros aceptaron la proclamación como representante de la Alianza para Prevención del Embarazo Adolescente. la placa proclamado de mayo de 21 a través del 27 de 2016 como seguro conotaje semana. Gil Thomas, que representa el US Coast Guard, aceptó la proclamación. Puede que también el año 16 fue proclamado como Quedar Atrapados Mes de la Lectura. Linda Kuchta, que representaba a los amigos de la Biblioteca Pública de Haines City, también aceptó su proclamación. Y en las audiencias públicas, después de mucha discusión, la Junta aprobó el acceso y uso de un lote residencial en Trejetijo por un camino de entrada de una escuela primaria y secundaria de 180 estudiantes en los Lagos del Sur. Para ello, la Junta también aprobó esa modificación del plan comprensivo, pequeña escala para cambiar el futuro uso de la tierra de la propiedad residencial debajo y en la baja del institucional. Los comisionados también votaron para ampliar la capacidad del fondo para el lago Marion, generación de agua en Poinciana de 1.5 millones de galones por día a 6 millones de galones por día para el año 2030, para satisfacer las necesidades del crecimiento de una de las áreas de más rápido desarrollo de nuestro condado de Polk. La mayor parte de la expansión se producirá dentro del anillo de las cuencas de infiltración rápida que siguen el perímetro del sitio. La instalación ampliará en 2 fases. La primera etapa del proyecto se completará en el 2018, lo que ampliaría la capacidad de la instalación a partir de 1.5 millones de galones por día a 3 millones de galones por día. La segunda etapa se ampliaría aún más a 6 millones de galones por día. Durante su sesión de la tarde, la comisión votó a favor de modificar la ordenanza 13-017 de la ordenanza de exención del impuesto sobre el desarrollo económico ad valorem, que eliminó lenguaje que podría ser confuso para aquellos que puedan solicitar la exención. También la Junta votó a favor de derogar la ordenanza 13-041, que era la exención del impuesto sobre el desarrollo económico ad valorem para Pepperidge Farm Inc., junto con la ordenanza 14-063 para el Von Walter Recycling LLC en su acuerdo con el condado. Pepperidge Granja iba a ser capaz de añadir 25 puestos de trabajo a tiempo completo, pero no pudo hacerlo debido a una de las líneas de producción de la compañía que se trasladó fuera de sus instalaciones de Lakeland, por lo que es elegible para la exención de impuestos en virtud de su acuerdo. Von Walter, reciclaje, también era elegible para su exención debido a que la compañía cesó sus operaciones en Lake Alfred. Los miembros del Consejo votaron a modificar las ordenanzas 13-021, que es la exención del impuesto sobre el desarrollo económico ad valorem para Brew Hub LLC, junto con la ordenanza 13-028 para Steripack USA Limited LLC. Ambas compañías enfrentan retrasos en la construcción en el periodo inicial de los convenios de desempeño con el condado, lo que llevó retrasos en equipos y mejoras de propiedad. Sin embargo, las modificaciones de sus acuerdos, las empresas tienen ahora más tiempo para cumplir con sus obligaciones para recibir las franquicias. Así que eso es todo por la reunión de revisiones hoy. Pero no se me vayan, que vamos a tener muchas cosas bellas e informativas aquí en ¿Qué pasa, Polk? Así que no me cambien el canal, no se me vayan, que regresamos pronto aquí en ¿Qué pasa, Polk?
Presente.
Miguel Díaz.
Presente.
Miguel Díaz.
Miguel Diaz.
Los estudiantes que falten 18 días o más de escuela en cualquier grado corren el riesgo de atrasarse y no graduarse. Las ausencias se acumulan. Mantenga la cuenta hoy. Visite boostattendance.org.
Bienvenidos a ¿Qué pasa, Polk? Así como les prometí, íbamos a tener tremendos invitados. Aquí tengo dos chicos guapísimos que nos van a hablar sobre una actividad y también de una agencia que ellos ayudan muchísimo, especialmente en Sudamérica y en Centroamérica. Nosotros hoy tenemos con nosotros a RJ Walters y a Leon Battle, que yo le estaba relajando y diciendo de que en español su nombre es León Batalla. ¿Ok? Entonces, y RJ Walters, él era uno de nuestros alumnos de hace tiempo. Cuando yo hablaba de las carreteras, yo le decía, take it away, RJ, pero ahora él está en otra fase. Ellos están con Florida Baptist Children's Homes y Orphan Homes y nos van a decir qué es lo que ellos hacen con la comunidad y qué hacen con nuestros niños. So RJ, welcome back home.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again. And Leon, nice to see you.
Thank you.
So tell me quickly, I always like my audience to know where you're from originally. So Leon, tell me, where are you originally from?
I'm from Connecticut, actually, originally, and moved down to help take care of my grandmother, and went to high school here and came up to Lakeland to go to college and attended Southeastern University.
Nice.
And it was great. Really fell in love with the people here in Lakeland and the community, and after being here for a little while, I just couldn't imagine myself leaving.
Nice, very good. And yourself, RJ?
I'm from right about here in Michigan. That's where I moved here from about 4.5 years ago. Grew up in Ohio and then Michigan, so I'm kind of a Midwestern boy, transplanted. Okay. And for those who don't know, Florida Baptist Children's Homes has been around for 112 years. Mm-hmm. It started in Arcadia, Florida as an orphanage, as you can imagine. And just the whole mission is still the same as 112 years ago, which is to provide Christ-centered services to children and families in need. And it started out as a building in Arcadia, and by the grace of God, 112 years later, we have Florida Baptist Children's Homes, which we are big into working with parents who are willing to do foster care and take care of those who we'd like to see reunified with family. Mm-hmm. Or, we also provide services for adoption because there's, anytime you look, there's in between 800 and 1,000 children in Florida who need adopted. And as we'll talk about today, we were here because we want people to understand that the reason that Florida Baptist Children's Homes has been around for 112 years is twofold. One, just because we've been blessed and the Lord has enabled us to do this good work, but also because the community, the volunteers. Last year we had 98,000 volunteer hours between our organizations, which is Orphan's Heart, which is international ministry, the Porch Light, which is human trafficking, and we have a safe home in Central Florida, and then Florida Baptist Children's Home. That's 11 years worth of volunteer hours. Mm-hmm. So anyways, the focus is getting children what they need to be able to thrive and helping families who are dealing with some brokenness.
Okay. You mentioned about the human trafficking part. I remember I visited the facilities off of Hardin Boulevard with Ana Rodriguez, mm-hmm. who heads and founded the Florida Coalition on Human Trafficking. And we had a great conversation, and it was interesting, the visit that I had when I went and toured with you guys over there. So
yeah, well, thank you for coming and visiting. I think anyone who hears about what these young girls go through and recognize that they don't even identify as being victims of trafficking until they've been out of it for a while and they have people offering them help and offering them restoration, they really don't identify. And as hard as it is for you or I to believe, you think, hey, can't you see it's a bad idea? They don't know what love is, they don't know what trust is. And so it's something that I think the more people who understand it, the more compassion we have as a community.
So Leon, what's your role in all of this?
I'm actually the director of one of our newer programs. It's mm-hmm. called Compassion Ministries. Ooh. And we've worked with foster children and children who are in the dependency system mm-hmm. For quite a while, and we've become really good at doing that. But we also saw a need. One of our things is we want to do everything we can to help one more child. We were kind of looking around and we were thinking, okay, what's one more child that we could help? And there's actually a school right behind us called Jesse Keene, and we're like, this is a school that's stricken with poverty. How can we help those children over there? And we really wanted to step into the family intervention and prevention field. And so we opened up Compassion Ministries. And my heart is to really help families get from where they are right now to where God wants them to be, where they want to go. So to help families stabilize. So we do that through providing resources like food, clothing, household items, but not just providing them physical resources, but providing them the intangibles. So we also are providing services like parenting classes, life skills. We have partnering agencies that are going to be in our building that provide substance abuse counseling, mental health counseling, psychiatric help, starting bank accounts, investing.
Wow.
Really just wrapping around the family, because we want to see them go from whether they're in poverty or just that working poor family where they're working really hard, but they're having some difficulties in life. We want to help them get to the next level and really just stand beside them, build those relationships and empower them.
So I guess what was your major at Southeastern University?
So like you were talking to RJ, things kind of change throughout your adulthood. So I actually started off, I got a degree in theology and business. And I actually went on to be a pastor. I was a pastor for about 6 years. And really wanted to step outside of the walls of the church because I knew there were a lot of hurting, broken people. And I stepped into the world of the Department of Children and Families and worked with families right alongside of them. And then it just so happens those two worlds come together. And I get to Florida Baptist Children's Homes, and I'm able to provide that Christ-centered services to families within the dependency system. It looks like, I look at it and I'm like, man, God knew what was going on the whole time. Really just put me in a place where I'm able to make that strong impact in families' lives.
Awesome.
And I also, I'm at Southeastern now. I'm in my last semester actually of my master's in human services, and it's great. I'm learning a lot.
Wonderful. So when students or children come to you, RJ, they come over to the Florida Baptist Children's Home. How do they find themselves getting there? I mean, what is the criteria that you look at?
The criteria is something that is really worked out at the state level, and I mean, it's perfect. Having someone with the experience working for the Department of Children and Families is just so valuable to us. Being part of our ministry, because he understands, and people like him understand that sometimes it's 2 in the morning, a kid may be taken from their home because the situation is volatile or traumatic. And so we have an emergency shelter for those situations on our campus here in Lakeland. But a lot of times they're in the foster system and they're trying to find the right placement. And we believe at Florida Baptist Children's Homes that the components of it is trauma care in some cases, because you're dealing with kids who maybe they don't have security because of food, maybe they don't know what it's like to have a healthy relationship. So they come to us in all types and sizes. I mean, Leon has some good stories, I know, of just people, just probably in the last few months that he's helped out or been a part of ministering to. Yeah,
a lot of clients that I help or families that I help are women who are getting away from domestic violence relationships. You figure they're in a relationship where that person may be their breadwinner, maybe the person who owns the house, has the car, provides the food for the family, and so while the woman may want to get out and get her children out, she doesn't know where she's going to go. She doesn't know how she's going to escape. And so actually over the last couple of months I've had multiple moms come and say, hey, listen, I'm having trouble right now. I need to find a place to live. I need to furnish my house. I need some food. I want to get out of this relationship and I want help. And we're able to bring her in, provide her with the resources of food, clothing, hook her up with some good services. And actually on our campus, we have a single mothers program where the single moms can come and live and get restabilized.
Okay, well then that's a good opening for our next segment then, to find out how we move these people along. So, ya saben, no se me vayan, que vamos ahora a hablar cómo vamos a ayudar a esas mujeres adultas que están siendo abusadas, porque cuando una mujer adulta está siendo abusada, también sus niños están siendo abusados, ¿ok? Así que no me cambien el canal, que regresamos ya mismo, que esto está bueno.
Por las cosas que nos pueden mantener seguros, las que usamos todo el tiempo sin pensarlo,
las que aguardan en silencio a salvarnos la vida. Y ahora, las que llevamos con nosotros a donde vayamos. Muchos dispositivos móviles ahora ofrecen alertas inalámbricas de emergencia, información en tiempo real de fuentes locales en las que confías. Con su sonido y vibración particular, estarás al tanto donde quiera que estés.
Así que bienvenidos otra vez y vamos a hablar de, ellos ahora tienen un recinto que ha abierto ahora en su complejo que necesitan voluntarios. Si ustedes son personas que les gustan ayudar a los niños y también a las mujeres que están sufriendo porque han sido abusadas y también sus hijos, denle atención que estos caballeros necesitan su ayuda. So I understand you're opening this brand new facility. Tell me about it and how can the audience help you?
Yeah, that's a terrific question. It's called the Harold Clark Simmons Compassion Center. And as Leon is the director of Compassion Ministries, it's really a central hub that, Lakeland is a terrific place if you are struggling because there's a lot of compassionate organizations, some of them ministries, some of them other nonprofits. But how I really see the Compassion Center just transforming downtown Lakeland is because it's a place where it's a service provider because we're going to have people in there from county service agencies, regional service agencies. When someone comes into that building and needs some assistance, whether they need clothing, whether they need something to eat, or whether they're just looking for how to get from point A to point B and it's a difficult road, they're going to be evaluated through an intake process where they're going to sit down with professionals who say, you know what, we're not just here to get you your next meal. We're here to show you how within the next few months you can start providing your family with meals each day. Mm-hmm. And I think the beauty of it is that the center is going to be a place where churches and where college students and where anyone who has a heart for those in our community who they see, are the working class poor, they can come make a difference in so many ways. And that's just what's so neat about it, in my opinion.
Absolutely. It's going to be great. We don't have a large staff at our Compassion Center. It's myself and have somebody who's over the warehouse. But we're really going to be relying on volunteers. I'm going to need 30 to 50 volunteers, a pool of them.
What's the criteria to become a volunteer for your agency?
Absolutely. Well, in my building specifically, the Harold Clark Simmons Compassion Center, we're looking for people who are 16 or up, okay. Or groups who want to come in. And we have very specific job descriptions actually for the volunteers. That way they know exactly what they're doing and they can step into what they love, what they're passionate about, and what their giftings are in. Mm-hmm. So we have numerous positions. We want to ensure that we have security guards there to make sure that the kids are safe and make sure the families are safe. We have a beautiful boutique where all our clothing will be, where families can walk in and choose very new or gently used clothing, and we have a dressing room they can try it on. We need boutique managers who are volunteers. Okay. We need the quality control to make sure that everything's folded, that it looks nice. We need people to pack the food, to help with our intake assessments. We want people from the community who have an expertise in a field to come and do our life trainings. So for example, professionalism, interviewing skills, filling out applications, making resumes, cover letters, or just teaching people a trade. We have kids on our campus.
So we'll be inviting her,
yes,
to come
absolutely.
to some courses and help out the community members. People like her are so valuable.
Absolutely. And we have kids right on our campus who will be utilizing it also. And I've wanted to bring in people who have a certain trade or are experts in their field to come talk to our kids and people in the community about how they can step into that field.
Awesome.
So it'll be awesome.
So when you're looking at 16-year-olds, obviously they're still in high school. Would that count as community service hours for them?
It absolutely will.
How about college students? Any credit?
Most college students do need internships. The great thing about our building is, it's not just community service, but there's a lot of business that goes on with nonprofits. We want to make sure that we're being good stewards of our resources and of our money. That way it goes out to the community. So whether you're a business major or a social work major, you can come and do your internship at the Compassion Center.
So you have, what is the demographic percentage, girls versus, females versus males?
For volunteers or for clients?
Who you have those endangered there in the community there?
It's a lot of families that are people are getting jobs right now, but they might not be jobs that are paying very well. So both are working 40 hours a week.
Wow.
And still struggling. I mean, you think about daycare is $600 to $800 a child. You're talking about rent or mortgages anywhere from $700 to $1,400, and then you have your utilities and all of your other expenses. So they're working hard. They're not just looking for a handout. We are trying to give them a hand up, get them to that next job that's going to pay a little more, or get them that promotion within their job. So it is a lot of families of 4, families of 5, families of 6, or people who are just getting out of college and really trying to get on their feet.
So do you have any activities or any fundraisers coming up so that the community knows about to help you raise funds for the...
Well, we will be, and you'll see it in the local media pretty soon. We'll have a grand opening of this building, and we're, you know...
I need to be invited.
Okay, put her name on the list, please.
Yes.
And so there'll be some local dignitaries and some people regionally. We've reached out to some people at the state level. In terms of events, I think you're going to start seeing a steady flow because, for example, one thing that is hard to really wrap your arms around, especially if you've been raised in a family where you had parents who educated you and were there to teach you about, you know, how the world operates, a lot of these people have never had a bank account. I mean, maybe they have a 40-hour-a-week job and they make good money, but they don't necessarily know how to manage the money because maybe they grew up on food stamps, or maybe they just grew up in a situation where no one ever took the time.
Paycheck to paycheck.
Exactly. It may be as simple as someone goes into the store and buys, you know, 3 separate things of macaroni and cheese for $5 whenever there's a family 3-pack for $3 sitting next to it. And sometimes it's just, the mindset is that, you know what, every single person is created with a purpose, and we want to help them understand that it's a unified purpose. We're in this together. We're much stronger together than we are apart.
One of the cool stories that we had recently is we have a lot of people who are helping other people, and they're still struggling. I had a mom who took in some children from a friend because the children were removed by DCF, the Department of Children and Family. She wasn't a foster parent. She was just a person in the community who cared. Well, at the same time that she took those children in, she was diagnosed with cancer.
Wow.
And so you can understand, I mean, that's a big call to take care of those children, and now she's dealing with this also. So she needed some help. She needed relationships around her, and she needed some resources too. She still was dedicated to taking care of those children, so we were able to help them out with Christmas presents. We were able to help them out with furniture. She wanted to have a bigger table so they could all eat dinner together around the table. So we were able to wrap around them, support them, encourage her, and then bring people alongside of her. So, you know, I think it all comes down to relationships. We're not just giving out physical resources and services, we're also building relationships to empower families who are doing something for the community.
So let our audience know where they can contact you so they can sign up to volunteer.
Absolutely.
Where can they contact you?
You can come to Florida Baptist Children's Homes. We're on 1015 Sykes Boulevard. Feel free to give us a call. It's 863-688-4981. You can ask for Joanna. She's our volunteer coordinator, or you can ask for myself or RJ. We would love to sit down and talk to you and tell you how to get plugged in.
Right, absolutely. And our website is fbchomes.org. And there is a volunteer application form there, so someone can kind of see what it looks like to volunteer with us. And that is where our calendar lives, so you'll start seeing what events are going on at the convention center, what resources are there. And word of mouth from people like you, obviously.
Awesome. Well, wonderful. Well. Thank you for coming on the
you.
show.
Thank you so
for
much.
doing such great things for our children and our community, especially also our young adults and adults. Así que eso ha sido todo por hoy. Qué tremenda información. Así que visiten el website de ellos y llamen a RJ o a León para que le puedan asistir en ayuda. Ya saben que eso ayuda a sus niños también en horas de comunidad, porque ahora cuando se están graduando necesitan eso. Así que no se pierdan nuestro programa, que es los martes, jueves y sábados. Y visítenos en YouTube cuando vayan a ver los programas, o visiten mi página en Facebook para que me dejen sus opiniones, y nos vemos en la próxima. Que Dios me los cuide. Chao. Yo he sido Ana. Bye bye.